Step onto the Mongolian steppe in the 13th century, where endless grasslands stretch beneath a vast sky, and the thunder of hooves echoes like a storm. This was the homeland of nomadic warriors who authored one of history's greatest sagas. Before the 13th century, Mongol tribes were divided, clashing across the harsh steppe. But in 1206, one man changed everything: Genghis Khan. With unparalleled leadership, he united the tribes, forging an unstoppable army. In their hands was a small but devastating weapon, the composite bow. The composite bow was more than a bow. It was the Mongols' ultimate weapon, the foundation of the largest contiguous empire ever known, spanning from the Pacific to Eastern Europe. Crafted with precision for the Parthian shot, it shone brightest in the largest cavalry battle in history at Yehuling in August 1211. What made this bow extraordinary? It was a marvel of medieval engineering, blending a flexible wooden core, compressive horn, and elastic sinew. Its unique recurved design stored immense energy despite being only 1.2 meters long. Compact for lightning-fast battles on horseback. With a draw weight of up to 50 kilograms, the composite bow launched arrows 300 meters, piercing enemy armor with ease. Compared to the Jin Dynasty's crude wooden bows, which reached only about 150 meters, it was unmatched in power, accuracy, and firing speed, striking fear into every foe. Crafting a composite bow was an art, requiring months of meticulous work. Artisans selected prime wood, pressed horn with care, dried sinew, and bound it with natural glue. The result was a weapon light, durable, and ideal for the Parthian shot, a technique of shooting backward while galloping under Genghis Khan's command. It was the key to an empire poised to erupt at Yehuling, on the Mongolian steppe, where war horses thundered and arrows sliced through the sky. A tactic turned nomadic warriors into the terror of empires, the Parthian shot. If the composite bow was the Mongols' ultimate weapon, the Parthian shot was their deadliest tactic, enabling them to forge the largest empire in history, from East Asia to Eastern Europe. At Yehuling in 1211, the largest cavalry battle ever recorded, the Parthian shot became an unbeatable icon. But what was this tactic, and why was it so fearsome? The Parthian shot was the art of shooting backward while galloping at full speed. It wasn't just archery. It was a seamless blend of archer, horse, and composite bow, an irreplaceable weapon. Compact and powerful, the composite bow allowed archers to lose 10 to 12 arrows per minute with lethal precision, even charging across windy steppes. The thumb draw technique and the bow's unique curve ensured balance, letting archers fire relentlessly without slowing. When tens of thousands of cavalry executed the Parthian shot, they unleashed an unending storm of arrows, plunging enemies into chaos. Mastering the Parthian shot demanded lifelong training. From age 3, Mongol children rode ponies, learning balance in the biting steppe winds. By 5, they wielded small bows, firing first arrows under strict parental guidance. Over decades, they honed body and mind, becoming expert horse archers ready to synchronize with thousands in battle formations. This grueling training made the Parthian shot an unrivaled tactical weapon from the Mongolian steppe to distant battlefields. The Parthian shot was paired with the feigned retreat, a cunning psychological ploy honed over centuries. The Mongols would pretend to flee, luring enemies from defensive lines into a reckless chase. As foes lost cohesion, archers spun, firing backward with composite bows. The bow's range and power overwhelmed enemies, trapped in a deadly encirclement. Compared to the Jin Dynasty's heavy cavalry, relying on frontal charges and armor, the Parthian shot was agile, unpredictable, and far more effective, especially on open terrain like steppes or hills. The combination of composite bow and Parthian shot created an unstoppable force, enabling the Mongols to conquer from their steppe homeland to far-flung kingdoms. Yehuling in 1211 was the ultimate stage for the Parthian shot, turning the rugged hills into a Jin nightmare, laying the foundation for history's greatest empire. In August 1211, amid the rugged hills of Yehuling, now in Inner Mongolia, history witnessed an unparalleled clash, the largest cavalry battle ever recorded, with roughly 180,000 horsemen, 80,000 Mongols facing 100,000 Jin, per the Jinshi. The battle was monumental, though numbers may be slightly exaggerated. The Jin's total force at the battlefield was around 300,000, including 200,000 infantry. Under Genghis Khan's brilliant command, the Mongols wielded the composite bow and Parthian shot to forge a turning point for the greatest empire in history, spanning from the Pacific to Eastern Europe. Yehuling's terrain was unforgiving: steep hills, narrow valleys, and biting winds. This landscape favored the Mongols' agile light cavalry, but was a nightmare for the Jin's massive army. The Jin needed open ground to deploy their vast army. Learning from earlier defeats of spreading forces thin, they concentrated their troops, splitting into a main wing to engage directly and a reserve to reinforce, aiming to trap the Mongols in a deadly chokehold. Yet Genghis Khan turned the treacherous terrain into a lethal advantage. Adopting Mukhali's strategy, he deployed a shock force to pierce the Jin's core, while other wings coordinated attacks. Mir Yuan Shehi split his army into 3 wings, tasking Generals Subutai and Jebe to lead a light cavalry wing to harass and lure the Jin from their mountain defenses. For days, probing attacks with arrow volleys fatigued the Jin, but General Wanyan Shujin held a tight formation, trusting his vast numbers. The decisive day struck like a thunderbolt. The Mongol shock force unleashed a torrent of arrows, inflicting heavy Jin losses. Yet the Jin pressed forward. Wanyan Yujin ordered Pukile and Yongkong to lead cavalry in a 2-pronged assault on the Mongol rear. Caught off guard, the Mongol rear fought fiercely. At that moment, Jebe, hidden in ambush behind hills, launched a devastating flank attack. Pukile was slain, and Yongkong, fleeing to the forest, was captured and cut in half. Seeing the assault collapse, Wanyan Yujin ordered a retreat to fortified camps, but the Jin were bombarded by arrows and firestones from composite bow. By dusk, exhausted Jin troops deserted in droves. The Mongols pressed them into the valley's heart, where terrain trapped them. A desperate Jin breakout attempt failed, exhausted against relentless Mongol cavalry rotations. The entire breakout force was annihilated. Wanyan Yujin took his life amid the chaos. The Jin's fragmented forces, severed by rugged terrain and poor communication, faltered. The reserve fled without fighting, abandoning the main wing. A Mongol shock force, wielding Parthian shots, stormed the Jin's main camp, wiping out their forces. The battle became a massacre rivaling Ping Ping in the Warring States era. Over 2 days of pursuit, nearly all 300,000 Jin troops engaged were annihilated, while the Mongols suffered minimal losses due to superior weapons and tactics. With bodies piling like mountains, blood flowing like rivers, shocking the Jin Empire. And Jin lost a century's worth of military strength, never to recover. The Jinxia notes, Yehuling marked the dynasty's irreversible decline, leading to its collapse decades later. Northern Jin fortresses fell, fueling Genghis Khan's conquests. With the composite bow and Parthian shot, the Mongols were nearly invincible in major battles across Eurasia thereafter, shaping history for centuries. Atop Yehuling's hills, Genghis Khan saw the dawn of a vast empire, built on the power of bow and tactic. The Battle of Yehuling in 1211, the largest cavalry clash in history, was the turning point that launched the Mongol Empire, the greatest in human history. But what if the Mongols had lost at Yehuling? The story of humanity would be profoundly different if the Jin's vast army had crushed the 80,000 Mongol cavalry. Genghis Khan might have lost his elite forces, his reputation shattered. The Mongols would be confined to the steppe. The Jin Dynasty, dominant, could have ruled East Asia, halting the Mongols' expansion. Yet, despite its significance, Yehuling is often overlooked by Western military historians. They focus on battles like Legnica or Mohi in Europe, neglecting Yehuling, a clash of 180,000 cavalry, far larger, and the pivotal moment that shaped the Mongol Empire, impacting the Silk Road to Europe. Had the Mongols lost, the Silk Road might have fallen under Jin control, reshaping global trade. European kingdoms like Poland or Hungary would have faced no Mongol invasions. Their histories could have taken new paths. The Mongol Empire would have remained an unfulfilled dream. The composite bow and Parthian shot ensured this alternate history never came to pass, shaping Eurasian history and inspiring modern mobile warfare. But what if the Mongols had failed? What would our world look like? Share your thoughts in the comments below. Want to dive deeper into legendary tactics? Subscribe to Warfront Insights channel and join us on the battlefield of history.